Well, just as a quick preview, I put together a Northeast Corridor New Haven to New York scenario with the CPR-1, which I now succeeded in giving actual motive power. It now has its own 2,000 horsepower of onboard locomotion. It works properly. I had to restart Train Simulator another 20 or 30 times to make it work, but it's looking good, and I will say all this once we get back in. All right. Good morning, driver. Today you will be taking train 141 from New Haven Union Station to misspelled New York Penn Station, calling at Bridgeport and Stamford along the way. You'll be driving the Class 801 CPR-R prototype, currently on loan from the Central Park Railroad. Operating on its diesel prime mover, CPR-1 has rather less power than on Pentagram. Well, that's unfortunate. Let me just hop into our train and we can finish reading that. You can glance at our train while we do so. We have an Amfleet M Cafe car, followed by coach cars, and at the front, CPR-R1 with its pantograph up and not quite touching the pantograph. Let's hop in, watch its pantograph go down inexplicably. Forward, AWS off. Apparently, our doors have already opened, and I'm just going to glance momentarily at this nice little task list to see if it will show me the briefing that we got canceled past. No, it does not. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 22 of my Train Simulator 2017 series. Kerm Martian here. Excited to do a second scenario with CPR-R1. This is a Class 801 based prototype of a private train car / locomotive called CPR-R1 in maroon, black, and gold livery. Because we have places to be and things to do, let's get going. So as I was just saying during the part that you people who are watching this in the YouTube playback will never see, this is now capable of pulling itself. I'm going to put us into notch 3 and watch as we slowly pull out. I recorded a scenario on this yesterday, and at that point I was still struggling to get Train Simulator to agree that this actually had onboard locomotion power. CPR-1 is designed to not be purely a locomotive. It has two 1,000 horsepower diesel prime movers capable of generating, therefore, a total of 2,000 horsepower for its traction motors, which can just barely pull itself and the 5 Amfleet cars that we have on the end today. Part of our challenge of the scenario is going to be keeping to roughly the schedule of train 141, a prototypical Northeast Corridor train that goes from Boston, Massachusetts to Washington, D.C., while using the CPR-R1, which necessarily has slower acceleration with its lower horsepower rating than the locomotives that normally pull this train. I am staying in notch 3 rather than going all the way up to notch 4 for now, because as you noticed, if I go all the way to notch 4, the sheer weight of the cars on the end will make us wheel slip. Part of that is due to the fact that this train car is lighter than the average locomotive with its mass of metal would be. We are nearly into the 45 zone. There we go. So we can keep ourselves in notch 4 and keep accelerating. So this is going to be an interesting ride for us today. We will, as I said, be taking the prototypical train 141, which starts at New Haven Union Station at 7:37 a.m., stops at Bridgeport, Connecticut at 7:59 a.m., makes a stop at Stamford, Connecticut at 8:27 a.m., New Rochelle at 9:21 a.m., and New Rochelle at 8:48 a.m., and then is supposed to get to New York Penn Station by 9:21. So we'll see how well that works out for us today. We're pulling just south of New Haven now and heading along towards Bridgeport. We'll be at Bridgeport in 16 3/4 miles. So let's see how this goes. As I was also saying during the loading screen, which you guys on YouTube again will not see, this was the result of quite a few more times of circling around and trying to convince Train Simulator to load my latest changes. Among other things, I changed the simulation file. I discovered that although there are human readable numbers in the simulation file, that what it actually ends up using are the hexadecimal encoded numbers in that file. If you happen to be wanting to make your own train simulator simulation files and tweak the properties, the physical properties of any of the trains in Train Simulator at some point, keep in mind that you'll have to not only change those human readable numbers, but you'll have to change the encoded numbers as well. And also note that although it says they're S-float 32s, which to us computer programmers would imply that they're what's called single precision IEEE 754 numbers with 32 bits, they're actually 64-bit IEEE 754 numbers. So keep that in mind if you're trying to update those numbers as well. I also had a couple of little tweaks I had to make to adjust the couplers. Also, I think we need some screenshotage with the sunlight falling on CPR-R1 here. Very nice indeed. We are accelerating slowly up towards that 70-mile-an-hour zone. And yeah, in the end, I was able to get it to work. As always, I had to go through a couple of rounds of clearing the cache and then making Train Simulator make a new blueprint file. It seems very loath to do that properly without showing massively messed up geometry that bears no relation to what's actually here. It is early in the morning here on the Northeast Corridor. You can see that the Class 801 is a little bit confused. There's a 60 mile per hour limit flashing on our dial there. I believe that's what that flashing light is. I could be incorrect about that. Maybe that's just saying which speed zone we fall within. Let's see what happens as we go faster. We're heading up towards 70 miles an hour now. Inching up. We're on the slow lines for now, the local tracks. Yep, looks like that's the limit. I think it probably doesn't know about our speed limits here on the Northeast Corridor. That's all right. We'll just speed along on this early morning fall weekday on the Northeast Corridor and hope all goes well. Almost at the speed limit, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Probably put us down to about notch 2 to maintain our speed. In fact, I'll start doing that now. We do want to be places on time. I tried this for a few minutes on the ECML earlier today once I got it actually running under its own power. And I discovered that it really struggled to accelerate out of King's Cross. There's a pretty steady gradient from King's Cross kind of for quite a few miles there, for about, I want to say 3 miles out of King's Cross. And it was really struggling with that. We're about to start speeding. Let's not do that. It took until about Alexandra Palace to actually start getting up towards about 80 miles an hour. We're doing a little bit better here on the Northeast Corridor. Seems like it's been very quiet on my stream these days. I suppose everybody's getting back to work or arriving back from their vacations or something. It being currently Labor Day here in the United States, so I know a lot of people had the day off. I sadly did not fully have the day off. I had to work. When you work for yourself, you know, if you don't work, nobody works. Stuff does not get done. But there we go. There we go indeed. We're making pretty good progress towards Bridgeport. Actually, we're not. Oh, sorry. Yep, it's still not advancing the miles per hour. Let's hope that we don't crash into anything. You'll recall that in our last scenario, the quick drive that I was playing yesterday, we got to Peterborough. And, well, I don't want to spoil things, but you should go back and watch it. Something unfortunate happened when we got to Peterborough when the game was not properly updating our ETA. Either our ETA or our ET miles. Estimated miles of arrival. Miles remaining. Here we have a nice little substation on our right. Operating as we are on electric power. Well, I say electric power. Notice we have our pantograph down. We are operating on our own 2,000 horsepower of diesel generator. I'm not sure that this particular train actually knows the difference between operating on diesel and pantograph power. I think there's no way to switch over currently. But since I told it we have 2,000 horsepower available to us, let's just assume that it's the diesel engines. I would hope. I don't actually know what this would be like. that the bogies, the trucks that I would pick for this real train, would be capable of generating more than the equivalent of 2,000 horsepower of torque to move a train along. So operating on pantograph power, it would be able to, generate enough power to easily pull a train like the one we have today. See if we can do a little train drive-by. Nope, 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 nope. Lots more nope. Such more nope. Well, it's not cooperating today. We'll wait until we get further along. It does look pretty nice, though. I'm trying to get us to the side of the track, and it's just not having it today. It's alright. We'll try it later. We have a 60-mile-an-hour zone coming up, so let's start decelerating for that. Just minimum braking should do the trick. 65, 64. I don't think we even need to do much braking. We can just coast for a bit. 63. Alright, a little bit more braking. 62. 61. We're going to just feather right under that 61 miles an hour. And there we go. Now we're down for the 60. Very nice. Professionalism. That's what we do. Professionalism for days. Then we go right back up to the 70 after presumably this left-hand curve coming up. I would imagine that's why we have to decrease our speed. As I've said in many of my other videos, the Northeast Corridor is just infamous for its much curving and twisting around, which is why our speed limits are so low and our high-speed trains are so slow. I don't see Bridgeport on our HUD yet. We definitely have fewer than 16.75 miles left, though. Did I hear a little announcement there? I thought I heard an announcement. Now we're way under that 60, so let's just go straight up to notch 4. We should be going fast enough that we're not going to have to worry about wheel slip. 55. Now whether we're actually going to be there on time is anybody's guess, since our estimate is not being updated. When I was making this scenario, because I did actually make this as a little bit of a scenario rather than a quick drive where we'd just be going from point A to point B, I made it a scenario so we could actually stop at some stations along the way. It gave me the timings that we have as kind of the minimums, which surprisingly more or less matched the schedule that Amtrak had for this particular train, number 141. But I don't know if it properly took into account the slow acceleration properties of this particular train. We shall see. We shall see indeed. I see we have another nice curve coming up. Can I see if we can get some more screenshotting action? My favorite thing to do. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. Maybe I can get if we can find a nice tight curve, we can go around while getting the front of this train with the cars behind it. Nope, 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 nope. It's not cooperating. One day we'll get a side of the track view, even if I have to do it by hand. I should make myself a channel trailer. I've been thinking about this for a while. I currently use one of my putting games on the TI-84 plus CE videos as the trailer for my channel. We are speeding. Let's do something about that. I missed that 60-mile-an-hour warning. Just a little bit of speeding. I'll tap our AWS a couple of times, though, to be safe. We definitely want to get down for that 40, followed by what looks like a combination 70 and 50? Or is that a 20 and a 50? I really hope that's not a 20. Ah, Train Simulator, you never cease to amaze. What was I talking about? I was talking about something important. Ah, channel trailer. So yes, I've been thinking about a channel trailer. I think I should have a mix of some nice cinematic sweeping train video quick clips intercut with some graphing calculator stuff and maybe some model trains. I don't know what else. Maker Faire maybe? Something. We're going down a very slight 0.6% gradient. $60 per milli, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, sorry, 6 per milli. A 6 per milli gradient. Now we're down for the 40 going across this bridge here. This is not Bridgeport. Bridge notwithstanding. Let's see if we can get some nice screenshots. There we go. There we go indeed. Hello there, Command Block Guy. Welcome to the stream. You join us as I drive CPR-R1 along the Northeast Corridor, specifically New Haven to New York Penn Station. CPR-R1 is pulling a train full of Amfleet cars, so testing out the prototypical train 141, but pulled by CPR-R1 rather than by the ACS-64 that would be pulling it in real life. Let's get up to that 60. Slowly. I have a non-train driving approved beverage with me today, which is good for streaming, not so good for train driving and professionalism, but we will do our best to do a good job anyway. That is what we shall do. So how are you guys? What are you up to? You guys have been so quiet. I haven't given you the opportunity to tell me what's up with you and to collect your thoughts and suggestions. If you guys managed to catch my video from yesterday, I explained a lot more about CPR-R1, the private train car / locomotive that I'm using to drive our train today. But if you missed that, then all of this will be rather confusing. I wanted to actually post some screenshots of this in Chemetech today along with a little bit of explanation, but I didn't get around to it. Also, we still have 16.75 miles left to Bridgeport, which I know to be a complete fabrication. Working on a screenshot thing while also generating a panorama. The screenshot thing. I'm afraid I don't actually know what you mean by the screenshot thing. Is this a Minecraft screenshot / panorama you're taking, or something that you are compositing from real life photographs? The panorama, anyway. The screenshot sounds like a computery sorts of thing. It sounds like I probably should be paying more attention to Chemetech Sax and/or pound Chemetech MC, our Minecraft channel, in order to know what you're on about. Heading up towards that 70. I see we have a 60 limit coming up though, so I have to keep an eye on that. Professionalism is the name of the game today. Well, Train Simulator is the name of the game, but you know. And I'm keeping us towards this side because I do love looking at the early morning 7:52 a.m. sunlight on our beautiful CPR-R1 in that maroon, black, and gold. But I should get some shots from the other side at some point. Ooh, that's actually not a bad one. You should link to the Chematopic later. Chematopic, I like that. Well said. Chematopic. If you guys didn't know, a denizen of Chemetech is a Chemitechian. So Chematopic seems like just the thing. I'm going to start laying off the throttle just a bit so we can start slowing down for that 60 soon. Followed swiftly by a 45. I'd imagine that 45 goes into a curve, which I think then leads us relatively soon towards Bridgeport. Alright, now let's start putting some braking on. I think we need to go straight to like 25% braking. 64, 63, yeah, it's plenty. 62 and 61. Beautiful. Professionalism. I do like when people link to Chematopics. I'm constantly nagging people to create topics on Chemetech about their latest electronics projects, programming projects, Minecraft projects, train simulator projects, game projects, calculator projects, phone projects, whatever. If it's tech and electronics, it probably belongs somewhere on Chemetech. Let that be a lesson for you as well, random YouTube viewer. If you like programming, working with electronics, gaming, other technical things, even things like music and stuff, you should post on Chemetech. That would be the correct thing to do. You're converting a panorama you took with Chunky to a resource pack. That's awesome. I would love to see that. I find the main Minecraft menu panorama thing to be somewhat disappointing. Now, I'm getting a little bit concerned because I definitely recognize this as a curve leading up towards Bridgeport from my many, many traversals, both in real life and in Train Simulator, of the Northeast Corridor, but I don't yet see the Bridgeport station on our HUD, especially I think that 30-mile-an-hour zone is for Bridgeport. So what's going on? I'm rather concerned. Yep, and there's that power distribution line tower, that transmission line tower that signals Bridgeport Station. It's right underneath that. Well, clearly, Train Simulator is not going to be cooperating with us today. So let's just head our way over to Bridgeport and see what happens. Hopefully, we won't have any tragic incidents like what we had yesterday. Well, there's the station, so let's start getting down. Is that signal the end of the station? I hope not. If so, there's no way I'm going to stop in time. Well, I say that. That's probably not true. I probably will stop in time. Because we're entering a station at 37 miles an hour. You guys know that it always works out well for us. Well, it looks like we're going to have to play pretend on this one. Just glide into the station and get ready to pick up some passengers. Alright, let's get some stopping going. 63% braking. And beautiful. I don't think I can open the doors. Oh, I can. Cool. I don't know if it knows we're at Bridgeport, but there we go. Ooh, screenshot time. Station screenshots are second best screenshots after super elevation screenshots. Beautiful. So this is CPR-1 with its doors open here. Now what I've done is I've taken the Class 801, a British train made by Hitachi. Well, I suppose it's a Japanese train made by Hitachi to be used on British rail lines. First it was designed for the East Coast Main Line, then for the Great Western. It sounds like they're not actually going to properly electrify the Great Western, so it will not really be used for that. Oh no, my doors have closed. Ah, our door is only visible from one side. That's exciting. But in the meantime, it's the perfect shape for what CPR-1 is supposed to look like. So here we go. Nice swept nose, 10 feet of cab, 10 feet of power generation, 20 feet of living room, and then 40 feet of kitchenette, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. Currently, we still have the interior of the Class 801 because I don't actually have enough spare time with all of my startup work, etc., to, you know, model my own train car for Train Simulator, especially given the many challenges of creating geometry with Train Simulator, creating textures with Train Simulator, making everything work. I mean, just putting this together, reskinning it, and then making it powered was about 2 weeks of not light work. You know, I spent quite a few hours over various days on those during those 2 weeks putting this together. But here it is, and I'm very happy with how it looks. I'm going to lower our braking slightly so it's easier for us to leave when it's time. Apparently Train Simulator is aware that we need to leave here at 7:59. It seems to be inching that progress indicator along towards 7:59. Actually, I think 7:59:35 technically is when I scheduled us to leave. Maybe we can get more screenshots while we wait. Now, I have to be really careful not to accidentally click outside because, as you may have noticed from yesterday's scenario, Train Simulator has been extra enthusiastic about crashing when you click outside Train Simulator and make it minimize, at least on my computer. So I was talking about this today. This is apropos of very little. You can see that this is not totally matte, but not totally glossy either. It has a bit of a shine to it. And I'm very happy with this color scheme for CPR-1. Black on top, maroon on the bottom. Let's call that a thin gold stripe in between. Gold rimming the windows, a gold line at the top there. And I think I'm going to make this black or black with gold on top as well. What else do we have here? We have Bridgeport's infamous Tower of Power. I'll see if I can get us on top of this so we can get some nice views. Tower o' Power. Power! I was watching much more Top Gear while I worked today, so just the wrong thing for convincing me to not shout power at the top of my lungs. I'm kind of getting us on top here. There we go. That's perfect. We can take some sweeping screenshots over the scenery here. Mutter? Do you mean nutter? I think you mean nutter. But regardless, I'm sure you know that that sort of language is unacceptable here, so I will just do something about that. Seems we may have a user that's unenthused about being repeatedly banned and reported. That's probably what's going on. Oh well. So it goes, so it goes. Can't please everyone. Well, it's just about 8 a.m. here, and I think we should be able to get going soon. All right. Let's double check that our doors are closed. I'm not really trusting Train Simulator here. Yep, doors are closed. Let's go. Notch 3 it. We don't want to quite notch 4 because, again, as I mentioned, this has only 2,000 horsepower. It's going to struggle pulling our train out of the station. Actually, speaking of struggling, let's put ourselves right here and watch our train depart. All right. All right, all right. So I removed that message from the actual live chat. Doesn't seem that Train Simulator has gotten, or specifically OBS. Oh, nope, wheel slip. We can't start accelerating yet. Past notch 3. Train Simulators. Well, sorry, OBS's little plug in there didn't get the message yet. Oh well. If you are of a younger age or sensitive to cursing, please ignore that expletive there. Still there for you? Interesting. Fascinating. Anyway, our train's heading off up an 8 per milli grade. Can we go to notch 4? We cannot go to notch 4. Oh, so it is. I suppose reporting it is not good enough. Blocking this user will do the trick. There we go. Much better. Ooh, I hope the stream is not as low quality for you guys as it is for me. When I play it on YouTube, it's rather low quality. It's probably because I'm streaming and downloading at the same time. Please do tell me if my stream is ever lower in quality than you would like, because, for example, Spectrum's being garbage, as it tends to be. I try to avoid terribly poor quality. Should be gone now, by the way. There we go. Now we can notch 4 it. We're in a 30, so we don't want to notch 4 too enthusiastically. Can we? Oh, there we go. I mean, this is not exactly what we want. We're in a baseball field, I think. Oop, let's not speed. We're about to speed. Saved by the bell. There goes CPR1. That's rather nice. Ah, that catenary pole got in the way. That's nice. I like that. This is what CPR1 would look like if you were down on the street or in a baseball field. All right, let's start getting ourselves up for that 70. 28 miles an hour. More speed. My cry of speed doesn't work too well with this particular locomotive pulling this many cars. I could, head over to our little coupler thing here and loose our coaches, but let's not do that. Let's not do that today. We don't want to lose our coaches. Our M Fleet denizens actually need to get where they're going. Let's see if we can join them in the... Nope. There we go. We can sit in our Am Fleet car and watch the scenery go by. Looks like they need to clean these windows, though. So Wednesday, I will be off to Washington, D.C., and then Chicago, and then Milwaukee on Amtrak. So that should be fun. I'll be riding in a car very much like this one, except I'll be back in the business class on the Northeast Corridor, heading towards D.C., and then I'll be in a roomette, which should be very fun as I go to Milwaukee. Well, to Chicago. Then the Hiawatha just has unreserved coach for the remaining hour and a half from Chicago to Milwaukee. We're accelerating nicely for that 70 mile an hour zone. Sitting here in our nice... this doesn't look accurate because Amfleet cars actually have great legroom for somebody who's extremely tall like me, and the way they've shown it, these don't appear to have as much legroom as they actually do. Probably just an illusion. Probably just an illusion indeed. I feel like we should probably head back up to the front car just to make sure nothing's going terribly wrong for us. And by front car I mean, well, I suppose it is the front car. It's both a train car and a locomotive. What about the rest of you? What are the rest of you working on? Feel free to chime in with whatever is new and exciting in your lives or in the world of trains that you think I should talk about or know about. I did a quick overview of all the latest things in my life, train-wise, and in the world of trains that I've read about yesterday, so I don't really have anything new to add today. So if you want to propose topics of discussion, feel free to do so. It's just kind of a mellow stream tonight, doing another test with CPR1, letting it run under its own power. Yesterday we had a Acela power car at the back of our train pushing us along because CPR1 was not actually capable of moving itself, just acting like a cab car. But today, we're all under our own power. Both diesel prime movers are presumably working hard to give us 2,000 horsepower to work with, driving our AC traction motors. Ooh, let's go up to the front and get some screenshots on this curve. Too late. Too late indeed. That hissing air still concerns me. I took a look at our... Oops. Don't quit. Okay. I took a look at our full HUD here, and I don't see any brake line pressure. The brakes look fully released to me, but I still hear that hissing, which concerns me. Let's see what happens if we stick our head out. Shift 2. There we go. We can ride alongside the cab here. We can look back over our train, too. And hear that hissing. Beautiful. Beautiful indeed. This is a nice view. Let's stick here for a while. I'll keep an eye on that yellow exclamation point just in case my AWS goes off. Not that I imagine it would, but you never know. Ooh, we have a curve coming up. Let's go back into this camera so we can get some screenshotage. Screenshotage? Train? Yes. Nice. Nice, nice. Very nice. Hello, Michael. Good to see you this evening. How are you? What fun things are you up to this evening, sir? I was just inviting everyone. Ooh, we're speeding. Let's not do that. Professionalism, guys, remember. There we go. I was just inviting everyone to share all the latest train-related things, or not train-related things, going on in their lives, including programming and electronics, especially this being a Chemetech-related production. Delicious beverage. Cheers to Tim Keller / Geekboy1011, who occasionally shows up for these, for the delicious beverage that I'm sipping. It was a groomsman present. I was recently a groomsman in his wedding party at the end of May. Wow. June, July, August. It is more than 3 months since his wedding. How about that? It's also been 11 weeks and 2 days. No, that's not true. It's been 2 days shy of 12 weeks since I last rode the Vermonter. It's been, let's see, 10 weeks and 4 days since I rode on the Northeast Corridor. I think that's about right. I went and visited my co-founder and good friend Elf Prince 13 up in Rhode Island about 10 weeks ago. 11 weeks ago, let's call it. It was a very fun time. A good time was had by all. We are rolling along at just under 70 miles an hour, headed towards Stamford. Oh, things are going well. We're still not getting updates on our ETA. I'm not sure what that's about. I think Train Simulator is a little bit confused by our CPR1, but that's alright. As long as nothing else ends up on the same track as us, hint hint, go watch my video from yesterday, hint hint, then all shall be well. This is an unusual station. What station is this? This is Southport. Southport apparently has the platforms at either side of the station totally misaligned from each other. I don't remember noticing that riding up and down New York to New Haven many a time indeed. What else is going on? Amtrak from Arizona to Washington State again. I definitely approve of that. That sounds like a beautiful ride. As I mentioned in yesterday's video and in several of my past videos, I'm not sure if you were here for this, John, I'm going to be doing a very long round trip. Well, of course, you just heard it because I was just talking about it, but a round trip to Milwaukee. I'll be taking the Cardinal one way, and I'll be taking the Capital Limited the other way, and it's going to be a great deal of fun. I'm going to try to get lots of awesome photographs, maybe a little bit of videoing as well, but I'm really looking forward to the ride. Very much so indeed. It'll be two totally different ways for me. I had previously taken the Lakeshore Limited back in March. Unfortunately, I fell ill shortly before I boarded that train, so I didn't get to be sufficiently alert and happy to actually enjoy the ride. But it was still fun. How bad could it be taking an Amtrak train along places I had never seen before, to states I had never been before? Ohio, for instance. I don't think I had ever been in Ohio before. So I hope you take that ride, John Bush, and I hope you enjoy the scenery, and I hope you take lots and lots of photographs to post on Chemtech. I keep saying that we need a train photographs topic. Now the question is whether it's acceptable to post... Actually, here's a philosophical question for you guys. Is it acceptable to post photographs from a train in a topic dedicated to photographs about trains? Does that fall into the same category? What do you guys think? Also, when would you go, John Bush? Would that be a fall trip to enjoy the fall foliage? Or would that be something further along towards the winter? December. Sounds nice. Sounds like a good time to take that trip. I'd imagine going, and tell me if I'm right about this, going from Arizona to Washington State, you'd go through quite a few different climates, all the way from hot and arid, even in December, all the way up to, like temperate, so defoliated trees, snow, and evergreens. I'd imagine that could be a beautiful set of views and transitions as you went. We are speeding. Let's not do that. Actually, let's get down for that 40. Our next stop will be Stamford, but when we'll actually get there is anyone's guess. On our schedule, we're due to get there at 8:27 a.m. We got to Bridgeport early, so we might get to Stamford early, and we might have to wait around a little bit. Let's say we're going to get there like 8:24 maybe. It is correct that we had 22 miles to go from Bridgeport to Stamford, but how much we have left is an open question. A little bit more. Yeah, doesn't it sound nice? I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, how long does that trip take? Is that something where it would not really make sense to get a sleeper car, if sleeper cars are even available? Is that something where you prefer riding coach? Depends on the image. If you're taking a picture that can only be seen from a train, such as from an elevated rail, and that's different from taking a picture of something unrelated to trains, the train. So that's an interesting point. That's an interesting way to look at it. So I'm thinking, these could be views that you couldn't really get other than from a train, like, beautiful vistas out over lakes and mountains and stuff, or fields where there's not really a road. That's what I was thinking of as something that might be appropriate, especially if you got part of the train in the photo. Like, probably it's undeniable. Nobody would quibble that, getting the front of the train curving around in the photograph would do the trick. But even if you got like part of the window to made it clear that you were in a train taking this photograph, I feel like that would probably be pretty reasonable. But you make a good point. If it's something that's just from a ground level right of way where you could, stand right outside that right of way on foot and take that same photograph, would that count? Questions for the ages. We certainly need that topic, regardless of what the correct philosophical answer is to that. Let's get ourselves right up to notch 4 and accelerate. Who is dinging in my ear? Can you guys hear that? Or is that simply for me? Aha! Excuse me. It takes about 2 days. One of the segments is completely at night, so I might get a lower level coach seat for that part. That makes sense. That makes sense indeed. You can hear notifications too. Good. So you can hear Geek Boy ding at me. I just told him that he should join us for this stream while he works on unpacking. He just moved, so he's unpacking. So if you were stalking him and you had his old address, sorry, you're out of luck now. You can't stalk him effectively anymore. I see we have a 30-mile-an-hour zone coming up. One wonders if that is Stamford. I'm pretty sure that's not Stamford. But let's do a little zooming in and see what we can see. Not much of anything. I'm pretty confident we're not near Stanford yet. That's right, I probably knew that you guys could hear my notifications because I feel like people like Alex Glanville, that scurrilous joker, has purposely made my Skype ding over and over just so it would show up in the stream and in the recording. There we go. No nets yet. Oh, that's right. That's right. He doesn't have internet yet. Oh, that's rather a bummer. We have a 30 coming up. Let's start getting down for that 30. We are currently at... Sorry about that blind message. I hate that. I don't know who annoys more, me or you. East Norwalk. Decelerate. Decelerate for 30. Speak of the devil. Alex is making noise. Making noise in my ear. I always want to put myself on Do Not Disturb before I start these, but then I forget. Almost down for that 30, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. That'll do it. We have some tight curves to go around here. Oh, I know what town this is. I know exactly what town this is, and I'm blanking on it. Rats. Hello, welcome back, Alex. I was just talking about... Well, you can probably look in the scroll back. Oh, right. You can't look in the scroll back for what I'm saying. I was just talking about how you like to randomly make Skype noises when I'm trying to stream so that other people have to listen to your Skype notifications to me. It is just the best. Tight curves do need heavy banking. Unfortunately, this one has a low speed limit, so super elevation, which is what that banking is called, doesn't do us too much good here, sadly. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. So nice. Alright, let's get up towards that 45. Notch 4. You do need to put something on your phone that lets you do certain actions via SMS. Uh-oh, speeding. Because that was a random 30. That was hard to read. My mistake. Let's keep that professionalism going. What station do we have here? This should be like Sono. Or something. Something along those lines. It is Sono. Ha! I got it right. I'm happy. Yeah, I've seen some... I've seen some views like that I've tried to take pictures of on the Vermonter. Some of them didn't come out quite so well because I didn't get them fast enough or because the windows were not so clean. But those are the most awesome pictures. Also, the longer the train you have, the better those come out, I think. Well, I will certainly encourage you to post such a set of photos in our train photographs topic once one exists, John Bush. Alex, you need to take, since you are our resident photography expert, other than Nikki, troll, you should definitely post those photographs. Sorry, you should take more trains so you can make more awesome photos, take more awesome photos of trains and of being in trains so that you can post them. You haven't seen a passenger train in 6 months? That's terrible. Does Amtrak not go through your small town? Or near your small town? Because that would be tragic. That would be an unacceptable turn of events that you should remedy by getting to trains as quickly as possible. I feel like your quality of life severely degrades if you don't see trains at least every month or two. I get to slightly cheat because I take subways a lot. I don't know. We can count those as passenger trains, perhaps. You should go to SF more for work. Will you be taking the local trains in San Francisco, like the, the BART's more of a commuter train. What's the train that I'm thinking of? It's not the Metro, that's Chicago. Metro? No, I don't think it's the Metro. What's the train in San Francisco? It's not the BART. This is embarrassing that I can't think of it. But do you mean that, or do you mean Caltrain? Also, we haven't sounded our horn in a while. I feel like that's something to be remedied. I don't hear anything. There we go. Gotta love that Doppler effect. My sounds are fading off faster than they should be. Also, if this was an American locomotive, it would definitely need Mars lights, which it does not have. Sorry, ditch lights. Ditch lights with, standard flashing when you sound the horn for a crossing. The office is right outside a Caltrain stop. That's awesome. Ooh. 4 additional locomotives? What? That's amazing. 4 P-42s and 2 SC-44s? Wait. That's so cool. That's so cool. SC-44 Chargers? When was this? Because the only SC-44 Chargers I've seen were at Denver, Colorado last June. I think it was last June that I was in Colorado for a conference. June or July. Oh, excellent. I will go look for that. I will definitely go look for that. I can't believe I missed that. That's incredible. I'm really looking forward to when the Chargers will start rolling out. Well, I say I'll be looking forward to it. On the other hand, I really like the P-42DC, so I'm going to be really sad to see those get phased out. Very sad indeed. I like the Charger, but I don't think it has quite the classy look of the P-42. I'm hoping they're going to give it a better color scheme than what it has now. If they could put it in Phase 6, Phase 5B livery, that would be awesome. That makes sense. That makes much more sense. Command, that makes sense as well. I do wish that... Whoops, we're speeding. Let's not do that. That we had less infrastructure subsidized for cars to make trains a more attractive and cost-effective means of transportation for more people. But there is that population density thing. Britain has its awesome train system partially. Well, I say awesome. I think it's awesome. People in Britain seem to complain about its reliability a lot, and it sure seems to get privatized and rearranged a lot. They were decoupled in Colorado. Well, maybe those were... Actually, when was this? Was this last summer or was this afterwards? Because those might have been the 2 that I saw. I took some photographs. I should be able to dig those out. We can check the train numbers and see if they are indeed the same ones, although they may have brought them back and forth a bit. I'm amused that they needed 2 extra P-42 DCs. That suggests to me that the SC-44s were not operating under their own power, that they were perhaps not yet cleared for solo operation. Last May. Oh, in WS Dot. Those are exactly the ones I saw. So those were the same 2 that I saw. That's really incredible. So they probably weren't cleared for operating under their own power on the main line yet. Well, it is 8:22 in game. We're supposed to be at Stanford at 8:27 according to this Amtrak schedule I have up on my other LCD. So I'd imagine we're going to get there quite soon. And let's get down for this 50. See if we can get a side of the track view. Nope. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Screenshots. 4 days. We're getting down nicely for that 50. I think we can actually put ourselves into notch 1 now and just maintain our speed. Beautiful. So I'm probably not going to have to worry about having Chargers pull my trains this trip. I suppose that would be an interesting novelty if they were. So, as I was saying, I would love to see the Chargers in the classic Phase 5B livery that the P-42s are in. I think I'd be very pleased with that. We're speeding. I'd be very pleased indeed. 1406 and 1407. Now, I know what we'll do. I see Stanford coming up, and it looks like it actually knows we're supposed to stop at Stanford. So once we stop at Stanford, it's going to have us wait there for a few minutes. I will pull up my Google Photos and take a look at the numbers. speeding again. CPR 1, I'm glad you're accelerating well, but this is not the time for it. Ooh, screenshot. Everything's a screenshot opportunity when you have a maroon, gold, and black train. Now here's something interesting. Let's see if I can go to my Google Photos and search train. See how good their stalking of photos, machine learning, is coming along. I'm going to search train. Train. It suggested East Hampton North, and I know why I did that, and it makes me sad. Well, it knows those are trains. It knows that's a train. It knows those are trains. This is quite impressive. I don't think I captioned these. Someone really likes trains? Someone really likes trains. It's me. Shocker. I like trains. This comes as a complete surprise to everyone around here. No one had any idea I like trains. Right, guys? This is a shock. Somebody talked about training, like, telling somebody what to do training. And I shouted trains on Chematech the other day. So that should give you an idea of my attitude towards trains. We're heading in nicely towards Denver Track 3 at 34 miles an hour. That should give us ample space to stop. I'm also flipping through my photos, trying to find a photo of that train from Denver. Alright, let's get ready to stop. Put on minimum braking. A little bit more braking. 33%. That should get us down nicely. 48%. We have the train brakes to help us with deceleration, whereas we only have the traction motors in our CPR1 to get us up to speed. Minimum braking, zero braking. Let's see if we can make this a nice professional stop right up at the light. Signal, I should say, would be the correct term. This seems good. Let's stop here. All right. Let's, actually stop. A little bit of stopping. Stopping time. All right. There we go. Doors are open. Let's take another look outside. Look at our train. Isn't this a nice train? What a beautiful train we have here today. It needs a nice Stanford photograph / screenshot, I think. Yeah. Another little screenshot there just for good measure. All right. Now, let's look. I suppose I could have searched Denver, Colorado, too. That would have been another way to do it. Why was I on an Albany train on September 16th? Aha! I was going up to Vermont by way of the wrong side of the Hudson River. Ooh, beautiful. Vermonter pictures. I take a lot of photographs of trains. That's a thing that happens. Wow. There's a PATH train. I must have taken that from... Where did I take that from? July 2016. July 2016. Here we go. 4601. Are you sure you didn't get those mixed up, Jonathan? It was 4601 and 4602 that I saw. These were actually in Siemens livery. These were in plain blue and gray half-tone Siemens livery. 4601 and 4602. They just say Siemens on the side. I also got some nice Union Pacific locomotives. I got some Denver. So Denver just opened a light rail system as of last summer. I got some good pictures of that. Good stuff all around. We're just going to have to wait here for a while our passengers board and detrain, because Train Simulator thought it would take us too long to get here. According to our schedule, we should be off already, but oh well. So many train photographs. One of these I had as my desktop background for a while. It's a P-42DC arriving in a snowstorm in Essex Junction, Vermont on April 26, 2016. It's quite a beautiful photo, including a father holding a kid looking at the train arriving. Quite a human element to a photo as well of this massive P-42DC arriving. Got some Acellas, got a photo of me in a tie with an ACS-64. I have model Acellas, which, interesting. I'm intrigued that Google knows that model trains are also trains. Google's a scary, scary beast. There's some more Albany action, more Essex Junction action, more Springfield, Massachusetts action. Basically, train photographs for days. That's incredible. The precision with which they identify photos that have trains in them is really stunning. Stunning indeed. Ooh, there's some trains from when I went to Texas. Fun stuff. Well, hopefully you guys are not utterly bored. I wish I could show you guys these photographs. I'll have to figure out a way to do that. Almost done with our little sojourn here at Stamford Track 3. Maybe I'll walk the platform just to see how everything's doing. We have our British train, followed swiftly by our American trains. Our Amfleets in their Phase 2 livery. Phase 2, right? No. What do you call this phase? I forget what you call this Amfleet phase. I thought it was Amfleet Phase 2. Actually, this might be Amfleet Phase 1. That doesn't seem right, though. As far as diesel locomotives, it goes Phase 1 through Phase 5B. Maybe this is Phase 6 then. Phase 6 would make more sense in that case. Ah well. Doors are closing. Doors are closed. Off we go. Notch 1, Notch 2, Notch 3. Let's not go to Notch 4 or we will wheel slip. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Train 141, the Amtrak Northeast Regional, from Boston, Massachusetts to Washington, D.C. We will be calling at New Rochelle, followed by New York Penn Station, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., with all points in between. Our next station stop will be New Rochelle, Connecticut. Sorry, New Rochelle, New York. Ha, I knew that. I knew that. That's our first stop in New York. See if we can go to Notch 4. No, I know we can't go to Notch 4. If I go into Notch 4, we'll wheel slip. I know that to be true. See? Ooh. I'm wrong. Shocking. Not at all shocking. The day that I am right about everything will be a very, very boring day. There is always lots to learn in the world, I believe. Let's get some more screenshot action. I tend to take plenty of screenshots for my thumbnails, but lately I've been, especially with the CPR1, I've been taking quite a number of screenshots. The Adirondack, so that's the one I actually took up the quote-unquote wrong side of the Hudson when I was flipping through my photos. I took it as far as Port Kent, New York, right across right across Lake Champlain from Burlington, Vermont. It was a beautiful ride. I've also taken the Adirondack as far as Albany for slightly less pleasant reasons. I was visiting a hospital in Albany. The Adirondack was a fun train. I enjoyed it. I didn't take it as far north as Montreal. My one trip to Montreal was via taking the Vermonter to Burlington, Vermont, staying there overnight, and then taking a Greyhound from Burlington up to Montreal. But I did enjoy the Adirondack. It was a very pretty ride. It was September when I took it, as far as Port Kent. So, not yet changing leaves. It was still a warm and summery feeling, even that far, quote-unquote, north. But I had imagined it would be another beautiful one like the Vermonter to ride during the fall foliage. Also, I have traction motor sounds enabled, but it really feels quiet in here. I don't think we're really getting the traction motor sounds. We're just getting the clickety-clack of our wheels on the tracks. We're at 54 miles an hour, heading up towards that 70, although we have a 50 coming up, so I'll be aware of that. What about you guys? What other trains have you ridden? We don't have to talk about trains. Feel free to change the subject if you'd like. There are plenty of other things we can talk about, like programming or electronics or all that good stuff. I see I have emails while I've been train simulating. I received about 4 more emails. Hooray. Ooh, look at that. We can get a nice shot from the other side. Let's see if we can get another low drive-by. Oh, I had one there. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm nodding my head in appreciation because I like that. That's a catenary pole. Thank you for putting my face in a catenary pole, Train Simulator. Let's decelerate because we're about to start speeding. We are going to be speeding. Nope, we made it down. We made it down indeed. And here we are crossing a bridge. Bridge action. I forget what river this is. It's an attractive one, certainly. Let's just pop our camera right out and watch our train go by. There it goes. And let's catch up with it again. Also start getting ourselves back up for that. Oh, well, we have a 70, 45, 70, 50, 70. See, this is what's wrong with the Northeast Corridor. This is exactly what's wrong with the Northeast Corridor, what you see on my HUD right here. The twists and the turns that make us have ridiculous changes in speed limit where we can never get up past like 60 or 70 miles an hour at a stretch. It makes me so sad that the single stretch of 100-mile-an-hour track is like 3 miles south of New Rochelle before the Pelham Bay Bridge. Excuse me. I'm dying trying to say hello. Hello there, Hayden Cunningham. Good to have you with us this evening on my stream. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. As you can see, I'm streaming Train Simulator 2017. And now I have to slow down again for a 45. There we go. 45. CPR-R1 is this attractive-looking private train car cum locomotive. We're switching over. Oh no, why is it doing this? We just switched to the northbound fast line. This can only go well. Nothing can possibly go wrong when we're on the wrong track. This is exactly what Train Simulator did to me yesterday. I do encourage you guys to go back and watch episode 20. It was an interesting ride. I had to restart Train Simulator a time or 2 or 3, which I cut out of the final video, so you don't have to watch me struggle quite as much with Train Simulator. But the very end of my London King's Cross to Peterborough route with the CPR-R1, something terrible happened. So feel free to go watch that if you get a chance. Of course, feel free to go back and watch all of my Train Simulator videos. I strive to produce some fun, informative, quality, enjoyable content. Just the kind of thing to play alongside doing some productive work. So feel free to do so, as always. The phrase like, comment, and subscribe springs unbidden to mind simply because I've heard so many YouTubers repeat it over and over. Yesterday I managed to avoid saying it myself. We'll see how many more videos. I mean, I suppose I just said it now, but we'll see the end of how many videos I can avoid saying it. Rolling along now at 54 miles an hour. Accelerating back up through these curves as we head towards New Rochelle, which was just 16.5 miles from our last stop at Stamford. We're doing the full route all the way from New Haven to New York Penn Station today. There we have I-95 off to our left, that monstrosity of a highway. I'm shaking my fist at it, stealing passengers from the erstwhile Northeast Corridor. I'm also yawning. It must have been a long day. I got up pretty late today. So why am I yawning? Ah well. Mysteries of the universe. You see we have some nice trucks and cars on a road off to our right as well. Probably some local road though. If we pass a highway later, I'll pause so you can take a look at the highway signs. They tell you where to find downtown, city, and services, as far as I recall. Let's get down for that 50. Oh, we're going to be speeding. There's no way I'm going to get down for that 50. I say that, but I might actually do it. Wow. Those are some good brakes. Thank you for helping with the brakes, Amfleet Cars. Thank you indeed. Can we get down on the tracks? Nope, we cannot. What we can do is put our camera down here and watch our train go by. By hand. And we're speeding. Bye, train. The question is, have you ridden the Adirondack, John Bush? I'd imagine not, because I feel like you would have mentioned that you had, but I could be wrong. Such flange squeal. Flange squeal for days. I have us in notch 4 on the hope at the end of our train. Yep, we'll get into the 70 by the time we reach 45 miles an hour. I'm really sad that I know that there was a screenshot of the HHP 8 for Train Simulators, like, marketing page of it taken right next to this overpass. I say sad. What I actually mean is proud. Let's be honest here. Well, you should. You should take it because it's a very pretty ride. Pretty much all of the Amtrak trains in the Northeast in New England, I'd recommend it pretty much any time of year. There's not a lot of them that don't have beautiful vistas. Maybe the ones between like Philadelphia and New York, not the greatest, but pretty much everything else. Say north of New York, especially going like towards Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, really, really beautiful views. Just the best scenery. As I always tell people, if you can have a traveling office with food, Wi-Fi, lots of legroom, and beautiful views, why would you not want to? Why indeed? Why indeed? Hello, cars. Hello, additional cars. Got a nice little bit of super elevation there, leaning over into our curve. How many years have you been doing YouTube? That's a great question. I want to say that my first YouTube videos were around 2008 or 2009. I think one of my very, very first YouTube videos was a trailer for Doors CS6. Doors CS6 or even Doors CS5, a shell that I was writing for a graphing calculator for the TI-83 Plus and TI-84 Plus. I set it to the tune of, I forget the name of the piece of music, but it's from the Matrix trailer. And that was one of my very first videos. Eventually I started doing some additional calculator videos, like I would do some tutorials on various things. They were mostly just like explanations of my electronics projects, demos of party mode, for example. Nice job, Command and Block Guy. I didn't start doing train simulator videos until about a little over a year ago. I didn't start doing train videos in general until a few years ago. I posted a couple of Maker Faire videos on my channel. I posted a couple of Minecraft videos on my channel. Again, starting about maybe a year and a half ago on the Minecraft videos, right when we launched our cart Minecraft server. That's mc.chemetech, CEMETECH.net if you like Minecraft, mc.chemetech.net. But no, it's been, you know, close to 10 years that I've been making videos on YouTube. If you look back at the very beginning of my channel, you'll see that some of my earliest videos were a very long time ago. Yep, Plattsburgh is good. I mean, if you take the train to Port Kent, I say Port Kent specifically because there's a ferry that goes between Port Kent and Burlington. I will not deny that the JFK to BTV hop on, like, JetBlue, for instance. Oh, we should be going much faster than this. On JetBlue, for instance, is a pretty reasonable one. JetBlue or United. I've done it a few times. But although the flight itself is 45 minutes, for me, actually getting to JFK is like a 2-3 hour ordeal. So honestly, I'd often prefer to just take the train. If I have to spend, 2 or 3 hours getting to the airport, an hour going through security and waiting for my flight, sit on the plane, taxi. There's the actual flying part, which isn't bad. Then there is the landing, the taxiing, the getting off, finding ground transportation into Burlington proper. All a pain. All things that I'd rather be just sitting on a train in one place with food, with my view, with my laptop, and just working and relaxing. Do you go to Burlington often, John Bush? Is that a frequent place that you go and visit? I think I've mentioned in previous recent streams that it's a place that I was previously spending a great deal of time going back and forth between there and here, but over the last couple of months, last dozen weeks or so, I have not been taking that trip. Current life situations mean that is not a thing that's happening. See you later, Command Block Guy. Have a good evening. I look forward to seeing the Chematech topic in which you post your successful panorama, and I look forward to you hopefully uploading that somewhere where I can download it and give it a try. Good night, Command Block Guy. Of course, if you drive, then Plattsburgh makes more sense because the drive over the islands, over the lake, is much easier from Plattsburgh. Why did I hear a click just now? I hope that wasn't emergency brakes. I don't know what that was about. Weird. I get suspicious when Train Simulator makes weird noises. Do I have my headphones in the wrong ear? I might. Nope, I have them in the right ear. Why did that train horn sound like it's coming from the wrong place? I think uploading it to the Chematech archives would be quite reasonable. I think that would be reasonable indeed. Ooh, this is a nice potential screenshot opportunity. Oh, very nice, John Bush. Very nice indeed. I'm sure I've mentioned that my co-founder and Chematech administrator, Elf Prince 13, is from Vermont, has much family in Vermont, all over Vermont, really, and is actively encouraging me to consider spending more time in Vermont as a place to live, at least part of the time, if not full time. One wonders when New Rochelle will pop up. According to our nice little schedule here, we're due there at 8:48 p.m. It doesn't look like we're going to make it there by 8:48 p.m. though. There was a little while there when I was going about 40 or 45 miles an hour in a 70 limit, 70 zone, but I don't think we lost too much time there. This is not an inconsequential route. The 75 odd miles from New Haven to New York Penn. Just taking a glance around our cab here, looking out the windows. On CPR1, I think I want those side windows to be a little bit bigger if possible. If possible. I suspect the comp folder would work best. We should probably have since we have a Blockland folder, we should probably have a Minecraft folder at some point. Oh, we can go as fast as 80. Awesome. Because that's what we're headed up to. Especially as we go down this 5 per milli decline. 5 per milli. I think Flux just flashed a message at me. I wonder what that was about. We are almost at 80 miles an hour, but we need to get down to 70, so let's start doing that. My favorite train? Great question. So, my favorite train service that I've ridden in real life is by far the Amtrak Vermonter. My favorite train service in real life that I have not ridden is the Acela Express in the U.S. I think my favorite train service anywhere, that I don't know. My favorite model of train, my favorite diesel locomotive would definitely be the P42DC. My favorite electric locomotive, probably the ACS 64. My favorite train company would be Amtrak, which might be a bit of a controversial statement. I don't think so. Amtrak has its shortcomings, but it does the best it can with what resources it has available. We are not speeding. We are down for that 50. Look at us down for that 50. Also, I think we need to get down for about a 45 in the middle of all that nonsense. So let's go straight down to about 40 and coast along for New Rochelle. There we go. That'll do the trick. Other favorite trains. The Strasbourg Railroad is probably my favorite short line railroad if we're going to condense this into small categories. I really hope that's just a 45 there. Looks like it. And we're heading right over to platform 3. Overall, though, like if I had to pick something that I would want to ride back and forth, probably the Amtrak Vermonter. Any time of year, any time of day. My favorite game. Ooh, asking all the hard questions tonight. So I like driving trains, but frankly, Train Simulator is not really the best, most well-made, most stable game. I mean, they are trying to support a huge amount of content with probably a limited developer team. I know right now they're dividing their time between Train Simulator and Train Simulator World, so I can't really fault them too much. Look at this professional stop right here. Look at that. Look at that. So, you know, not the most polished game, probably not my overall favorite game. I want to say it's either Unreal Tournament 2004. I mean, just the sheer number of years. Obviously, it's been like 13 years that I played Unreal Tournament 2004. So, really one of my favorites. Minecraft is also one of my favorite games. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm with my co-founder, Elf Prince. And obviously, tons of Train Simulator 2017. I think I'm at about 168 hours over the last 2 years. But I would have to say that Unreal Tournament 2004 or Minecraft are my favorite games. What are your favorite trains and favorite games? Hayden and or others. It's a weird lens flare. Or is that me seeing the headlights through something? What is that? That's strange. I think that's just a really weird lens flare. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Hungry Trade is hungry. How's our coupler looking? I was trying to play with the couplers to make them work better. Ooh, they look like they actually sort of showed up properly. They're not quite offset at the right place. I can fix that. I can and should fix that. So rear coupler needs to move forward about, what do we want to call that? A foot? Yeah, about 12 inches or so. Nom 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 nom. There's a coupler inside. If you want to couple something to the front of the train, you open the nose cone. It's hard to see here. Let me see if I can... Yeah, you can't really see it. There's a coupler in there. Trust me. There's a coupler that lets you couple to things. Nom 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 nom. It makes it streamlined when you don't need the coupler and, you know, still gives you access to the coupler. That's definitely something that's going to be in the real CPR R1. The other thing that's going to be in the real CPR R1, I can't really point to it, so I'll just zoom into it. There will be cameras right about here, maybe up here as well. So you can, you know, both for safety, it's probably good to have recordings. I noticed that Amtrak's P42DCs all have little cameras sitting on the dashboard, presumably for, you know, in case there are any accidents, to be able to show to the NTSB, the National Transport Safety Board. But for CPR-R1, it'll let you throw on a pair of VR goggles. There'll be 2 cameras, maybe 3 cameras, one main one and then 2 little ones. So you can feel like you are actually at the front of the train. In fact, in my original designs that I drew up for CPR-R1 when I was like 10 years old, I wanted to put the cameras on a 2-axis of freedom little gimbal so you could, you know, swing your head around or use a joystick to move the camera around and be able to actually look around from the front. So that would be very cool. I believe in my original design I had the cameras right in the very front tip of that nose cone. Oh, we're ready to go. Let's go. Sound the horn for no particular reason other than to wake up the poor denizens of New Rochelle, like our Chemtech member Patrick Davidson, venerable calculator programmer extraordinaire. My doors are already closed. Stop making the door closed noise. But since I think it makes sense to have a coupler on the front of CPR-R1, especially if I'm going to have it be pulled behind Amtrak trains as a private train car, assuming I can get them to okay that and get the... actually, who would be the proper ruling body? There would probably have to be a ruling body of some sort to okay my train for general riding on public national rails, the National Rail Network. I'd have to convince them that CPR-1 is safe. One of the many challenges to make CPR-1 a reality. We are pulling out at a sedate pace from New Rochelle. There we go. Now we can go to Notch 4 without wheel slipping. This is where, if you were here with me, a couple of videos... Uh-oh. Why are we going this way? Why are we going this way? We're not supposed to be going this way. This is not correct. This is not correct at all. This is very not correct. We are taking the Metro North tracks. How in the world is it planning to route us? Hold on, let me look at the map. How is it routing us? This is not good. You are eating popcorn. That's a good thing to eat. Oh, I'm super confused. Center player. Alright, so it's sending us this way. It wants us to go here. I do not believe we can make it to Penn Station this way. I do not believe that at all. I'm not going to crash. I'm not going to crash. What are you talking about? Crashing is not going to happen. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try something. I'm going to bring us to a stop up here and see if I can manually switch over some tracks for us. Oh no, it doesn't look like I have manual control over these switching tracks. Well, that's sad. Well, we're going to try an adventure. We are going to go on an adventure, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to keep going where it's directing us and see what happens. This is going to be interesting. So now we're on Metro North right-of-way. We're on the New Haven line right-of-way where it branches off from the Harlem line and comes over to Amtrak's right-of-way. This should be very, very, very interesting. Let's get our speed up here. Speed! Excuse me. Killing my voice doing the Jeremy Clarkson. My favorite snack. Oh man, you have so many great questions. Favorite snack. I'm really fond of chips. I love snacking on chips. I don't know if I do like salty snacks, but I like sweet snacks too. I have a random bag of chocolate chunks on my desk that I've been sprinkling on vanilla ice cream, for example. I do have quite a number of both sweet and salty snacks on my desk. I've been keeping myself from eating too many of them because they're meant for my long train ride coming up later this week. I have some sriracha potato chips, some sriracha waffle potato chips that are super good from Trader Joe's, highly recommended. I have some salted brownie bites. I have the aforementioned chocolate chunks for my ice cream. I have some trail mix. Trail mix is delicious. My favorite snack. I'm not good at favorites because I like so many things. There are so many things that make me happy. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a salty snack like potato chips, and sometimes I'm in the mood for a sweet snack like, brownie bites or ice cream. One of my favorite, it's not really a snack though, one of my favorite sweets is nonpareils. Those little chocolate discs with the sprinkles on them, but that's still not, I wouldn't call that a snack. Oh. What do I love? What do I love for snacks? I love goldfish for snacks. I love Cheez-Its. Basically, if it's a snack, I love it. This is not a fair question. I really take umbrage at this question because there's too many good answers. Now we're heading through the Bronx. Solidly into Metro North territory. We're also speeding. I caught that just in time, sort of. What is your favorite snack? Is it popcorn or something else? And what is your plural favorite snack? Any good suggestions of good snacks that I'm forgetting about? There have to be some important ones that I'm missing out on. I even love fruit. I mean, fruit is a great snack. Who doesn't love fruit? Some grapes or some cherries or, I don't know, some peaches, apples. There's so many tasty things to eat. I like food. Food is good. You'll notice we no longer have pantograph wires above us, even though we have catenary, poles. We have a third rail here now. The real CPR-1 is designed to have third rail shoes. Whether I'll actually be able to pull that off is a good question. I don't know if I'm going to have the space for the power conversion components for both AC pantograph and DC third rail. Let's see if I can recognize those. One of those is ice cream, which is awesome. One of those is donuts, which are awesome. One of those is popcorn. I'm actually not the world's biggest popcorn fan, but I do like it. I do like popcorn. I'm just not over the moon about popcorn. And I can't recognize what that first one is. What is that? Is that a chocolate bar? Oh, it's a chocolate bar. That must be a chocolate bar. Good choices. Good choices indeed, Hayden Cunningham. Now, we are joining the main Harlem branch of Metro North. So this is the combined Harlem and New Haven branch, heading towards where we'll also join the Hudson branch, towards Grand Central Station. If it's going to put us at Grand Central Station, I'm going to be super confused, but there we go. There we go indeed. We're also going to lay off the brakes and let our coaches push us down this incline. Take a look at the back here. See, there they go, pushing us right down this hill. Now we can get our speed on again. Straight to notch 4, I think. No blind, no blind. Go away, blind. Things are so quiet up here. We should have the roar of diesel generators and traction motors, electric traction motors, the whine of electric traction motors, I should say, underneath us. But we don't. According to the Amtrak private car tariff documents, Amtrak will inspect the private cars to ensure compliance with 49 CFR 238. All right. See you later, Hayden Cunningham. Have a good evening. Thank you for joining us for this leg of the journey. So I am more than happy. Yeah, I actually remember seeing that in Amtrak's documents, but I don't remember that it was 49 CFR 238. It sounds like I should take a look at 49 CFR 238 and make sure that CPR-1 will abide by that. 49 CFR 238. Because what's a better time to look it up than when you're driving a train with full throttle? Passenger equipment safety standards. Now, if it says that we're not allowed to have power, I'm going to be very sad. Requirements for external fuel tanks on Tier 1 locomotives. Specific requirements for Tier 1 passenger equipment. Inspection, testing, and maintenance requirements. Tier 2. General principles of reliability-based maintenance programs. Alternative dynamic performance requirements for front-end structures of cab cars and MU locomotives. All right, so this is going to be interesting. Among other things, nice sunglasses. I'm going to have to deal with the safety requirements of, unfortunately, American locomotives, which is currently that they have to have some pretty severe crumple zones at the front, which could limit how we put CPR-1 together. However, I can draw off a lot of existing work. For example, I can ask Siemens if they would sell me the roll cage unit. Not roll cage is kind of the wrong thing, but the cab cage thing that they created for the ACS 64, which passes all the necessary qualifications and compliance things. And it was my understanding that the FRA was planning to relax some of those requirements, making it less important that you have really severe crumple zones and everything at the front, and focusing more on what our European counterparts do, which is really make sure they have a ton of good crash avoidance technology. So here in the US, we tend to focus on crash survival, like surviving crashes. In Europe, they tend to avoid having crashes. If they actually put those changes through at some point, that's going to make it much easier to build CPR-1. It will indeed. So I'm going to have to read this over in more detail at some point when I'm not driving a train, all that good stuff. It might be worthwhile to work with, oh my goodness, there's so many things here. Movement of passenger equipment with brake defects. Movement of passenger equipment with other than power brake defects. So many regulations. Specific requirements for Tier 1 passenger equipment. Anti-climbing mechanism. Oh yeah, the anti-climbing mechanism, that's the other thing. That's a crash surviving thing, that if a train crashes into another train, that it just kind of crumples and stops instead of jumping up over the other train. Link between coupling mechanism and car body. Forward and structure of locomotives, including cab cars and MU locomotives. Collision post, corner post, rollover strain, side structure, tracked car body attachment, glazing, locomotive fuel tanks, electrical system, suspension system, safety appliances general, safety appliances, new equipment, brake systems, interior fittings and surfaces, reserved, automated monitoring. Oh my goodness, so many things to deal with. So, one of the things that might be worthwhile for me is to contract with, I think there is at least one or two companies out there. I think there are at least one or two companies out there who will build you a private train car. I do want to, as I said in my previous video yesterday, I want to have some involvement in actually putting CPR-1 together. Oh, look at that beautiful train. Look at that beautiful train. Screenshot. It might be worthwhile to contract with a company who will help me put it together and help me follow all of the necessary regulations and rules. Screenshots for days. Thank you for sharing that, John Bush. I'll have to spend quite some time with that document at some point, I suspect. See, the problem is I need those things that I talked about yesterday to make CPR-1 a reality. One of them is time, and the other one is money. I feel like that's most of the things in life. You need either time or money to make them work, or both for the really good things. This is such a quiet ride. I mean, with the exception of those clacks on occasion. Clack. I wonder where Train Simulator is sending us. This is fascinating. I'm afraid it's going to make us get to Grand Central and then reverse our way back to, like, maybe all the way to Bridgeport, since it didn't know we were stopping at Bridgeport in the first place. Something ridiculous like that. Alright, we have a bunch of speed limit changes going on ahead. Coming up. That's the word I was looking for. Phrase I was looking for. So let's be aware of them. 64, 63, 62, 61, and 60. We're down for the 60. Hello again, Andrew Orozco. I'm just going to call you Andrew. Hello there, Andrew. Good to see you again. Welcome back to the stream. Today I am going on an adventure with CPR-1, trying to figure out where Train Simulator has routed me for the route that I put together for myself. I made my own scenario, but it seems to have a mind of its own as to where it wants me to go. And I'll show you as soon as we get out of this little tunnely sort of building on top of... Did I? Awesome. Building on top of track situation, I'll show you what we're actually driving today. If you caught my recording episode 21 from yesterday, then you might have seen it already, but today it can actually push itself. Here it is. This is CPR-1. This is a prototype of the CPR-1 private train car cum locomotive / locomotive if you don't like Latin, modeled on the Class 801. The Class 801 has pretty much the correct shape, and we're speeding. Let's get down, not maximum braking, but pretty severe braking down to the 40. I saw our train shudder from over braking. Sorry, passengers. Got some flange squeal as we head through these curves. We are nearly going to be crossing from the Bronx back into Manhattan. I say back into Manhattan. We haven't been in Manhattan today, but since I spend much of my time in Manhattan, it feels like back to me. I did see the eclipse a few weeks ago. It was awesome. I was just actually looking at some funny photos today of me wearing my cool eclipse glasses. You know, those really make you look just the coolest. But I did get to see the eclipse. It was a fun time. Here in the Northeast, it wasn't full coverage. It was like 75% coverage, which was not great, but in like 5 years or so, I know I'll be able to get a really good view from Burlington. Speaking of Burlington, we keep talking about Burlington today, where the eclipse will be going practically right over that city. Did you get to see the eclipse a few weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago today, as a matter of fact. Passed over New Jersey, but it didn't get dark. Damn. Yeah. Same for New York. I really couldn't, even though it was supposed to be like 75% coverage, I didn't really notice any particular darkening compared to what I expected to be. Now, Alex Glanville there, and our good Chematech moderator and administrator, well, nope, just moderator. Moderator CJ Sprinkle, aka Elemental. He went to go see, we're speeding, the eclipse. He traveled quite far, in fact, to be able to get 100% occlusion. He said it was amazing. He said it was like, he literally described it as a life-changing experience. It seemed like you had a pretty great time with it, Alex. Do you have any experiences from the eclipse you'd like to share with Andrew and the rest of our viewers today? You start school Thursday. Damn. Technically, so I'm an adjunct professor among my many other hats that I wear. Was supposed to start classes on Thursday because the school at which I teach starts on tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But because my class is on Mondays this semester, I will be teaching next Monday. 7th grade. All right, so I'm a few grades beyond you. I'm in like 20-something grade, I suppose you can consider it. Let's see, let me work this out. So if the end of high school is 12th grade and the end of college is 16th grade, now I did a master's, that's 17th grade. I did 5 years of PhD, that's up to 22nd grade. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I did 2 years of postdoc or research assistantship, that's 23, 24. So this will be my 25th grade. 25th grade. That tells you a little bit too much about my age. Don't think too hard about that. Well, I hope 7th grade goes well for you. I hope it's enlightening and exciting. Of course, I can't help but tell you that if you have any questions about math or science or graphing calculators or STEM or electronics, in any of the things you cover in school or just your random personal projects, you should, of course, stop by Chematech. Our friendly members are always happy to help. Schoolaholic, that's me. Ah, nice. That's awesome. Highly approve of science. Orientation, yeah, orientation was like last week for the school that I teach at. I think they start in for realsies tomorrow. Oh, that reminds me, I need to decide whether I'm going to get the meal plan this semester. In the past, as an employee, you get a pretty significantly discounted meal plan compared to what the poor undergraduates pay, and it's been a great option for me. Oh, we need to get down for this 45 for the tunnel. 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45. We're good. Good. Having friends. Oh, barely have friends at school. That's not good. I thought you said I have friends at school. You know, I have to say, trite as it may be, that I barely have friends at school anymore since most of my friends have graduated and gone off. One of my good friends that I spent the last 7 years or so with just went off to Indiana to teach at school there in Indiana. So he went far away. New York City and Indiana are much different from each other. You will indeed make friends. I think you will make friends. I've always been of the opinion that it's better to have a few good friends than a lot of shallow friends. So if you don't have a ton of friends, I think that's okay. I know I didn't have a ton of friends in school, but I survived. My nickname in high school was Calculator Boy, a title that I think was meant to be insulting, but I took as a badge of honor. Calculator Boy is definitely how I am proud to describe myself. I think even at my current age, I'd be more than happy to be known as Calculator Boy. My condolences, Andrew. I hope they see the light of the fact that you are not actually annoying. Perhaps it is they who is annoying. They're just not cool enough to understand your style. Now we appear to be heading to just a random siding here, at which point I'm sure it's going to tell us to reverse. This is going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see how it routes us. Yeah, see, it doesn't even know that we've made it to Bridgeport. Oh, yes, it does, actually. It's giving us a check mark for picking up passengers from New Rochelle. This is going to be interesting. That's interesting. My 6th grade teacher was actually really mean as well. At least I perceive my 6th grade teachers mean. I was, shockingly, I was a nerdy kid. I would tend to read ahead, work out, draw schematics in class. I had a paper computer that I built on my desk. It was like a paper model of a computer on my desk. And my 6th grade teacher was not particularly fond of me. He thought that I was a disruptive student. He gave me... I've gotten poorer grades from him than I've gotten any other time in my school career, as far as I recall. Bar one class in high school. So 6th grade was not a great time for me either, so I feel you there. I hope things get better in 7th grade. I trust with a less terrible teacher, a less mean teacher, that things will be better. That makes sense. I'd imagine disciplining and controlling students in 6th grade is a lot different from doing the same with 2nd graders. We are down for this 15 and headed towards a siding. Well, we're headed towards Grand Central. I don't know where it's going to put us in Grand Central. I think it doesn't know the difference between Grand Central and Penton Station. That's exciting. And I'm just letting us coast down towards 10 miles an hour because it looks like there's a 10-mile-an-hour limit going here into Grand Central, which is really annoying because we're going to have to crawl along the rest here. What's a check? Is that like a form of discipline? Oh, we have a red signal. Red signal. Ah! Yeah. I know. I'm trying to avoid spatting. I know. Oh, I probably have to put some brakes on. Do you guys hear that annoying dinging? My train is angry at me. Let's back it up a bit. I think we're allowed to back up. This might be an ignominious end to our ride today, in fact. Oh, I can't actually even get out of the train. Help, I'm lost. I'm under the ground of New York City and I cannot find myself. Where have I gone? Aha! Here we go. Here we go. Uh-oh. Something's gone terribly wrong. What? That's weird. I guess those count as tunnels. So, I don't seem to be able to reverse past this signal it seems rather mad at me about. We might have to call this the end of our scenario. I was not particularly confident about it getting us where we were going today anyway. Alright, so let's just hop ourselves forward a little bit into Grand Central. There's look at the Empire State Building up there. And other buildings in the skyline. Very nice. It's a rough approximation of New York in the middle of a desert, but it'll do the trick for us. It'll do the trick indeed. So here's Grand Central Station. Let's pretend that we made our way to a platform. Stopped CPR-1 somewhere like here. So this has been an exciting ride today. Wow, I realize this stream has been like an hour and 46 minutes. Very good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed riding CPR-1 with me. For those of you who joined me relatively recently, I apologize that it's already at the end of the scenario. As I said, this has been an exciting adventure. I look forward to bringing you more. I don't think I derailed. I think I just spatted. Signal passed a danger. I went through a little bit of a red light there. I think that's what our little beeping there is about. If I had cab lights here, I don't know what the key is for cab lights. Oh, it's L. I could perhaps figure out what I'm getting dinged out about. I'm acknowledging AWS. Electric is on. Pantograph is up. If I put us into neutral and put on the brakes. I did put us in emergency braking. Ah, there we go. Hold on. I might not have to stop this quite yet. All right, let's put ourselves into a little less braking. Reverse. And then a little bit of acceleration and see what happens. Ah! We can back up. Okay. We're good. All is not lost quite yet. Let's just back ourselves. Let me turn the cab lights off again. Back ourselves past this red signal. See if I can actually see that signal. It's down there somewhere. There it is. That's the red signal that I passed. Put ourselves into braking. And then forward again. Good. All right. See if I can pass. Signal. Aha. So I press tab here. See SPAD is signal passed at danger. That's running through a red light. Request to pass signal at danger approved. So according to British rules, that limits, and I think American rules as well, spatting, if you're approved to pass the signal at danger, you're limited to either 10 or 15 miles an hour. So we have to stick to under 10 miles an hour for the speed limits anyway, so let's do that. Let's see where it sends us. In the meantime, I will start doing my... What are you making door noises for? You're silly. A fire at your school? That's scary. I don't think there was ever a fire at my school. There were fire drills, especially including ones where somebody pulled the fire alarm so fire trucks showed up. But I don't think there was ever a fire, per se. While I was there. I know my high school had a fire after I left. Sadly. It kind of destroyed the upper gym. It's only relatively recently that they rebuilt it. So, this has been a bit of a fun ride. I've certainly enjoyed it. I hope you guys have as well. Bringing CPRR1 all the way from New Haven, Connecticut, through Bridgeport and Stamford and New Rochelle to, well, I was planning to take it to Penn Station because, you know, Northeast Corridor. But apparently, Train Simulator decided we were going to go to Grand Central Station. In fact, we're going to the lower level at Grand Central Station. I am driving the CPRR1. Once we're not in something that Train Simulator thinks is a tunnel, I will hop out of the cab and show you what it looks like. I will show you indeed. The CPRR1 is a modified Class 801. I'm using the Class 801 to prototype this personal train car that I've been designing for about 20 or 25 years now as something I want to build and have once I have both the time and money for it. I will show you it soon. It is a maroon, gold, and black liveried Class 801 looking train with a slanted nose, the ability to produce electricity via a pair of 1,000 horsepower diesel prime movers, and living quarters including a living room, 2 bedrooms, a kitchenette, and a bathroom. Speeding because our coaches are pushing us down this hill. My mistake. I don't know where it's sending us, actually. Whoa, what's that? There's like grass in the middle of the air. Go Train Simulator. Mid-air grass is what I like to see. I think we're going quite deep here. It concerns me that the third rail is lifting up while we're continuing to go down. Where are you taking us? Train Simulator is taking us into the depths of Grand Central Station. This is very exciting. It's also making door open and close noises randomly. This is so exciting. Here's CPRR1 for your enjoyment and edification. It's hard to see in this deep dark tunnel. Hold on, we're speeding. Let me do something about that. In theory, there should be a platform here. Oh, our train is now going underground. What's going on? This is super broken. I don't think anybody has ever taken this track before. This is amazing. I love it. This is super, super exciting. I feel like backing out of this nightmare might be a good thing to do. Where are we? We have burrowed deep underground. This is very exciting. Way to go, Train Simulator. Well, this is our train. Our train is now half buried in the ground underneath Grand Central Terminal. So Train Simulator has been doing its best to make my videos exciting lately. Yesterday, it routed me into crashing into another train. Today, it pushed me underground. Train Simulator does not want me to live. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I mean, Grand Central Terminal has 2 levels, one underground and one overground, one way underground and one slightly less underground. Let's go into reverse and see if we can accelerate backwards. Wheel slip, yep, notch 3. I don't even know if we have enough power to go up this, 3% grade. Oh man. CPRR1 is going to struggle to push this train. No, I don't want to go further down. Fine, I'll go further down. Fine. I'll go further down. I'll listen to you. This can only go well. I'm going to put my lights on so we can actually see what we're doing in this hellscape. I will go further down. I will stop at the end of this, whatever this is. See you later. This is just about the end of this video, Andrew, so I don't blame you. I hope you have a good evening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, Andrew. Be sure to follow me on Twitter or YouTube if you want notifications of when that's going to happen. And And that goes for the rest of you as well. Thank you for joining me this evening. It's been fun. I'm going to park us right in this weird underground place the Train Simulator has found for our poor little train deep underground. Oh, it's not going to let us actually look at our train, is it? Nope, it's just going to pop us overground again. I have started stopping and I have stopped starting. That is what I have done. Train Simulator has made life exciting for us. So once again, thank you for joining me with the CPR-1 from New Haven to New York Penn Station. I hope you've enjoyed this little jaunt. It was pretty uneventful. Other than Train Simulator's weird routing, it went pretty well, I think. I'm looking forward to pulling the CPR-1 along more places in Train Simulator, be those in the US, in Britain, or in Germany, or any of the many places we can go in Train Simulator. The next couple of days, I will most likely not have any live streams or videos because I'll be, as I mentioned, traveling. I'm going to be very busy with work and travels and events, but I will try to make a video again as soon as I'm able. As always, please feel free to leave comments with your thoughts, questions, and suggestions for where I should make my next videos. And, keep an eye out for my Train Simulator videos, Minecraft videos, all the interesting things I try to take videos of. In particular, we will be going to Maker Faire very soon. So be sure to look for our little overview of Maker Faire. Well, that's an interesting way to end the video. Thank you once again for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.